I'm Ajisa.
I'm Arham.
And I'm Kashiki, and we are the Creative Casters.
Today we're going to be interviewing Miss Maria.
Hello.
Welcome to our show. We're very excited to have you here.
Honored to be here, yes.
If you guys don't already know, she's a biology teacher.
Yes, also a science teacher.
Yeah, and a science teacher.
So today we're going to be interviewing, and we have a set of questions for you.
Okay. So the first question we have for you are, what are some of your interests and hobbies?
So my interest, I would say, mainly is traveling. I really love traveling, love to go to other places, get to know get to understand the culture if I can, eat their food. Hobbies, I like practicing yoga when I can, going to the cinema. So yeah, reading if I have the time.
Yoga is, my family likes doing yoga as well.
Oh, nice, very nice. Do you practice yourself?
Whenever I go to India with my grandpa, he kind of forces me to.
It forces you to do it, okay. That's nice.
Before COVID, my family used to travel a lot because my mom has this dream of traveling the world.
Oh.
But then after COVID, that couldn't really happen.
Where's the last place that you went to with your family?
Paris.
Okay, nice.
The last place I went to was Macau.
Macau, okay, not too bad.
Okay, our next question is, how long have you been teaching for, and what made you want to teach?
So I've been teaching for like roughly, I would say, around 6 years. I started teaching randomly because I didn't want to be a teacher at first, but I started teaching as a part-time job when I was a student. I realized I really, really love it, mainly because it's like in contact with other people, and I realized I can learn a lot from students as well. So then I decided that I would make it my career actually, but it wasn't originally my plan, yeah.
Well, obviously, like, there's so many subjects you can teach. So, but what made you choose that you wanted to teach biology?
I studied biochemistry in university, and first of all, I have a little bit of knowledge of biology, and I also think that I'm pretty much interested in like living things in general, because I think we do things without even like fully understanding how we do them. Like we breathe, no problem, but we don't really understand how it works, like all the steps. So I'm pretty much fascinated by all of these things. So that's why I decided to teach biology.
I'm also like wanting to study either like medicine or biochemistry.
Okay.
Yeah, even me as a child, biology just really interested me. I remember going to the library in recess when I was in like P1, P2, and I just read a bunch of biology books. I wouldn't understand anything, but at the end of each page, they'd have like fun fact exercises, like put your arm up and you'll see the blood all like drain from your hand or something like that.
Oh, so you always try those exercises?
Yeah, I always tried those things, and that fascinated me so much.
Okay, are you still fascinated by this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I think you just made me even more interested in biology.
Awesome, okay, didn't kill that yet. Okay,
did.
That's good, that's good. That's nice.
So, you've been at CSS for a while now. What's your favorite memory at CSS so far?
Actually, it would be last year's sports day. I never had a sports day growing up or like in my previous school. It's not really a thing we do in Spain, I think. I don't know why. So it was very exciting for me to see everyone coming together, wearing the school's colors, like so happy and so involved. So yeah, I think it's last year's sports day. Yeah.
I also really like sports day. I only had one sports day before that. It was an MY1.
You know, you were in MY1, okay.
It was really fun, and then after that, because of COVID, I don't think we had like a proper sports day.
For like 3 years, right? Yeah. Okay.
But last year's sports day was so fun.
Yeah, last year was my first sports day. It was really fun. Like, it was the first time we did a school activity after all that happened, and it was the change was so nice.
Yeah,
like,
exactly
watching
how
everyone
I
come
felt.
together. Yeah.
I didn't like sports day. I tried to skip. No, like not last year, but in MY1, I like purposefully skipped one of the events, so that because I had to pick two, and I only wanted to do one of them.
Oh, I see. So the pressure of participating in the event. Okay, I get that.
So I just skipped one.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a bronze medal.
Oh, and what do you do?
400 meters.
400 meters. Wow, nice and fast. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't like there's like 4 people. But
Well, but the first one out of the 4, not too bad. Okay.
Okay. What do you think you have learned from teaching students?
I think I learned many things. Also, I realized I don't know many things as well at the same time. But I think one thing I realized is that everyone has like a very different lens of perspective on things. Like some people see things as very obvious, and for others it's completely very difficult to see it or like to understand it. So I try my best to explain things like in different ways, even though I probably don't succeed all the time. But yeah, I think that's like my main lesson, that even though things might be very obvious for me, it's not the case for others. Yeah.
Yeah, that
it actually.
Really, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, what I like most about is that you don't just read from the textbook. You like say, oh, what if you're texting a friend from WhatsApp and this happens? Like you relate a lot to real life, which
Okay.
helps me interpret and like visualize it in my head.
I feel like I'm trying for people not to fall asleep because even though I do that, I still see people that are like, thinking about something else
Yeah,
completely.
maybe, but like that really helps.
Okay,
Like most
thank
of the
you.
time when I'm doing tests, I'll be like, oh, osmosis happens because when things get thrown in the swimming pool. It's
Oh, the
harder to
swimming
get
pool
the-
thing. Okay.
That really
Okay.
helps.
Okay, so the swimming pool works. I'll
Swimming pool works.
remember that. Okay, awesome.
So where are you from, and what is your absolute favorite thing about your culture?
So I'm from Spain, and I think one of the absolute favorite things about my culture is like for every culture, I think is like every time we like gather or like we have any celebration, it's all about food. But it's not special to Spain. I feel like if I have to say something special about Spain, it would probably be that we take naps after lunch or like in the weekends, and I think that's awesome and everyone should do it. Inspire guys. I guess in the weekend people would have like a big lunch and then like just go to sleep probably like 40 minutes, maybe an hour and a half if it goes out like out of control. So I miss that, and I feel like people in Hong Kong don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
No, whenever we're back in India, like if obviously it's like hectic sometimes if we go for like a wedding, but if it isn't, then everyone will just like eat a lot, and then my grandpa and my dad and everyone will just like go and like just like take a nap.
Exactly, it's the same.
Yeah.
And then everyone will follow after I sleep. It's the same with my family as well. Even like now, on like Sundays and Saturdays, we'll like have a big family like either breakfast or lunch or brunch, and then we'll all just be like, let's sleep. And then my sisters would be like, no, we want to go out.
So
I want to
active.
sleep.
Yeah.
So there's always that like little debate that happens every weekend.
Every weekend,
But
okay.
it's the fun of it. It's fun.
Yeah.
So, has there been anyone you've looked up to or idolized?
I feel like idolize, not really, I would say. But I always looked up to my parents. I feel like they're definitely not perfect people, but like they're very hardworking, honest. So yeah, I always look up to my parents.
Same. Like both of my parents, they're like quite different,
Mhm.
and like the way they parent is also different. Like my dad's super chill and he's like philosophical and like
Okay.
he's like let the bird be free, whatever.
Oh, nice. Okay.
My mom, on the other hand, is like cage.
Okay.
But it's like it's good because there's a balance.
Combination of both of them is perfect, right? The bird is free, but also not so much. Okay.
Okay. What are your top 3 favorite songs and movies?
I was really thinking about this for a really long time. So I feel like I want to say for movies, I really like very thriller, psychological movie type of thing. So my top 3 would be Shutter Island, The Departed, and then The Fight Club. I was really think this is a very thought out question for me, so it's important. Okay, I'm meeting it was a previously thought out question. And for songs, I feel like it really depends on the mood. Like there isn't like a particular song that works all the time. If it's I'm exhausted or I'm very excited or whatever the mood may be. I'm really into Rosalia. She's a Spanish singer.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I really love her at the moment. I listen to her a lot. I'm surprised you know her actually.
Malamente, that's one of
Yeah.
her songs.
And
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, so you know her.
she's
Brilliant.
good.
Yeah, I like her a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like this huge movie list with like over 100 movies that I'm trying to finish. But like there's too many to finish.
But you have a lot of time
yeah.
still.
yeah, but like there's too much like stuff going on.
Okay, yeah, you don't have too much time to watch them like
Yeah.
in the weekend or something. Okay.
The only movie I watched out of the 3 you mentioned is Shutter Island.
Same.
I really liked it. I watched
Okay.
it with my mom.
It's a bit scary, a bit.
Yeah.
No spoilers, guys.
Yeah, no spoilers. It's a
I need to
bit
watch
creepy, but I really like it as well because it really makes you think, right? Like, what if everyone's crazy?
Yeah. What if
Yeah, thriller psychological stuff really makes you think, and I think that's what I like about it. Some people just prefer to watch a movie and not think.
Yeah.
That's me actually.
But some people, like me, if I'm watching a movie, I want to be invested. I want my brain to be running like
Yeah.
100 miles per hour. Like, I want that.
I mean, depends on the moment, right? If you're really tired, maybe you don't want to think too much. You want to see something easy. But if you are up for it, like energized, then yeah, you might as well think about what's happening, really. Yeah.
So before you mentioned that you really like to travel, so where is one place that you would really like to go?
One place I haven't been yet and I really want to go is the Philippines.
Oh.
Because it's so close and I can't believe I haven't been there yet because it's probably the easiest flight from Hong Kong actually, but I really haven't been. So that's really top of my list at the moment. Go to Philippines. I know there's beautiful islands in there. Maybe do some snorkeling. So yeah, I would love to go to Philippines.
Oh yeah, I think CSS did that for like a creative week.
Oh yeah, I
a few
heard
years
that
ago.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, in 2018 I That looked really fun.
Yeah, I was not here at that
I
time.
really wish we had like a broad creative week.
I mean, maybe, right?
I mean, maybe, but like we only have this year and next year. F6
Oh,
we don't
for-
really have
okay,
a
that's true.
creative week, which is sad.
Well, then you don't need to have creative week to go when you're that old, you know. You just go.
Go.
No need for creative week. You can just go whenever.
But I like the chaotic like energy that you have when you travel with people from your school.
Yeah,
And
okay.
everyone like just like being really embarrassing, but then it's also
Being really embarrassing. Okay.
like going anywhere with people from school, like it's like, can you not?
Because you are in the group with them, so you're
Yeah.
identified as. Okay, I see.
But at the same time, it's so funny. Like when I go home and I think of the memories we made, I'll think of like those embarrassing moments.
Where did you guys go actually?
We haven't been to anywhere.
Well, you haven't been to
But,
anywhere
like-
because you were too young.
Yeah.
But like in open day, like people are just like being so embarrassing in front of some of their parents, and I was like, no, stop.
Okay.
What is going through your head right now? What did you think?
Why were they embarrassing?
Like they're just like, I don't know. I was like, okay.
It's funny because she says that.
Oh yeah. In primary, like P4, P5, P6, our whole grade, like people wanted to go. We went to Taiwan, Korea,
Okay,
and Japan.
wow.
Like we had those three trips of like Naduli and like all these
Oh,
elsewhere
Naduli was
people.
in you also in primary school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So those trips, like considering I was like 9, 10, 11 at those times, I remember like every single day because it was so fun. It was so chaotic. Like on one hand, one of my friends, she knew she was allergic to prawns, but she ate them
Oh.
anyways, and she got like a really bad swollen eye and it started bleeding or something, and she started crying thinking she was gonna die. But like so much was happening, and we just look back at those times and laugh because. I mean, essentially,
That's the only thing you can do, really.
yeah, it's the only thing we can do, and these are like what makes up memories. Like,
Okay. Wow.
yeah,
49 years old and you already went to a, that's amazing. That's really cool actually.
yeah, it was really fun. That's why I kind of wish creative had that. I mean, they did
Until COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this year, next year. who knows?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, exactly.
So much like Arham's really crazy memories, do you have a favorite memory that's really stuck with you?
I think one is pretty similar to when you say that being embarrassing when people travel with you. It's a little bit related. So after I did my university entrance exam, because in Spain you actually take an exam after like high school, right? So when you're 18, and then me and 4 of my friends, we traveled around in Europe with a backpack. So there is this thing called Interrail that you basically buy like a ticket for using a train, I think like maybe 3 times or 10 times in 20 days, something like that. It's like a deal for students. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. The 5 of us, like, you know, very young, we had no idea how things work, but yeah, we really had a blast. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. See, those moments are just what you look back to. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I will never forget it.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Those are like the like only moments with your friends, like when you go travel or like when you go out with your friends, like when you're sad or just in general, you look back at those times and you just feel so
Yeah,
happy.
exactly. It feels nice that I went there,
Yeah.
even though yeah we were clueless and lost. I mean, so many issues, but very nice overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so our last question is, what is a quote or piece of advice that you have received that has impacted you deeply?
I think it's very simple, and probably most people like have heard this before. Is that I think you should treat others how you want to be treated. So I think it's very simple but very hard to do because sometimes you don't treat people exactly like you want to be treated. So I think that's the one I would go for. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's like the small things. Like treat people like it doesn't have to be super complicated.
No. It doesn't have to be. It has, just respect everyone, and then everything should be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So we just want to thank you for coming here today. It was really fun getting to know you, TBH.
Thank you for inviting me. It was great. Yeah.
Thank you. I did not think that you went backpacking with 5 of
Yeah.
my friends. in
Oh.
Peru.
Yeah.
Like, see, when a teacher teaches, you don't know much about them. You just know about the topic you're learning, but you don't know the person who's teaching it.
Yeah.
But like these experiences get us, like, make us learn more about teachers. So.
Nice. I'm glad that you know me a little bit more.
It
Great.
was really fun. We thank you for having us, and
Thank
thank
you
you for
for
being
having me.
here.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Creative Casters.
Say bye.
Bye.
Whew, great.
I should have.
I'm even sweating at one
Wait,
point.
my biggest fear is there's more.
Oh, there's more?
I tried to move it down.
Are you?
How
There
did
was
not?
one more.
There's one more. What's that one?
Oh,
What is
life
that?
What is
advice.
a piece of life?
Oh, well, it's the
advice
same.
that you want
It's
to
the
say?
same. Okay, it's fine.
Okay,
Fine.
it's the same.
I'm still recording.
Oh, no, you're not.
Are you?
Yes.
That's for the bloopers,
It
exactly.
is. Like that on lazy.